Hello everybody, welcome to Dackman Productions and welcome to Conrail, my high rail O-gauge layout. So today's video, I decided, hey, you guys liked seeing my auto racks run, and then you liked seeing my 86-foot high cube boxcars run. Why not do a mix? And so that's what I'm here to do in this video. Now this run is inspired by a member of the New York Society of Model Engineers HO Club layout. So there is a member there who does run a mix of auto racks, 86-foot high cube boxcars, and 60-foot boxcars as well. And I always love watching that train and getting it on video when I visit there. I'm just like, wow, I gotta run this train just like he does in O-gauge. So today I got 12 auto racks on and 9 high cube boxcars. Out of the 9 high cube boxcars, 2 of them are 60 footers. The rest are 86 footers. Just want to make sure I was getting that right. That's why I'm looking over there. I could have added a lot more. I mean, I have another 8 86-foot high cube boxcars up there that I could add. And but I decided not to push it. This is long enough for me. So in this run, we're going to do this as per Conrail rules. We'll talk about a little bit more about that here in a minute. Now, one of the things I wanted to address is somebody making comments that, oh, you're running all the same car and that's boring. Well, you know, it really did happen in real railroading, right? You know, they do really run trains that have the same car. And what that is called in railroading terms is a unit train. So when you hear the term unit train, that means all the cars are the same car. A very good example of a unit train is a coal drag. So you're going to have all these coal cars. A coal unit is coal drag is a type of unit train. And they really did run unit trains of auto racks. They do run unit trains of intermodal cars. And for you guys that may not know, at one time there was a unit train of refrigerated boxcars, and it was called the Salad Bowl Express. Google it. You may learn something. But at any rate, yeah, so there's different types of unit trains, and I like to run what the railroads do. And many of my viewers support me. They say, Dackman, run it any way you want. Don't listen to anybody else. And so that's how I like to run. I like to run how the railroads did. Now I may break a rule here or there. Like in my auto rack train, I sort of broke the rules and ran 3 SD 80 Max leading the train. That would have been against Conrail rules. And we'll discuss that here now. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got set up, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the SD80 Mac rule and what we're going to do to change that to make it a more legit run as per Conrail rules. Let's go. So I know you heard me say, 12 full-scale 89-foot auto racks and 9 boxcars, with 7 of them being 86 foot and 2 60 foot. And you're probably thinking, does Dackman really have room to run this on this little tiny layout? I get that comment all the time that how can I run these long trains on this little layout here? Well, what you guys, the viewers, don't realize, this is only part of my layout. This is not everything. So here we start off, and you can see the train wraps around. But what you guys don't realize, right, there's the tunnel. The trains go into two other rooms. So here you go. You can see how the trains come through. And even with all the cars that I have on this train, you can see I have plenty of room. I could have probably added the 8 with no problem, because I still have another room to go through yet. So there you go. So in my auto rack video, I decided to run 3 Conrail SD80 Max. And I did mention in that video how that would have been against Conrail rules, because the SD80 Max were so heavy on their axle weight, they didn't want you running any more than 2 SD80 Max at a time. So if you needed to add additional power, it had to be a different type of locomotive, such as an SD70 Max. Now, they did not want you to run DC powered locomotives with the SD80 Max either, because it would cause damage to the AC traction motors. So part of the rule is that you could not add an SD40 to an SD80, because an SD40 was a DC traction motor. So we're going to go ahead and follow the rules, and we're going to take that third SD80 Mac off, and we'll go ahead and follow the Conrail rules and show you what we need to do. Okay, so I've taken off the third SD80 Mac. Now, these SD80 Macs were actually issued to Conrail in 2 locomotive sets. However, they would have never been issued in elephant style. And there's been some people who did not know about the term, what elephant style even means. So when you run locomotives, nose, tail, or, you know, front, back, this is called elephant style. And that term was sort of dubbed from, I believe, the circus days, where the elephants would be in line with each other. So we got to turn one of these around to be legit. Okay, so I turned the other one around. You'll notice that I didn't couple it, because I always like to test my MU before I operate it. And noticing I'm using railroading terms, but for those who are Lionel and MTH, basically lashup. But I always like to test my MU programming, so I know the locomotives are going the right direction. So what we need to do now is, this train is really heavy, and I actually do need to add another powered unit. So we're going to go ahead and add an SD70 Mac as per Conrail rules. So we're doing something a little bit different here. You'll notice that I have it facing forward. So there we go. And now we're going to go ahead and program the 3 together into MU mode. Again, for O-gauge terms, that would be lashup. So I'm using railroading terms. And then we're going to test the MU operations to make sure everything's going the right direction. Alright, let's see if I have the everything programmed correctly. Alright, so I'm going to leave that blooper in there because people call me out saying I edit out all my bloopers, but I didn't have the SD70 Mac on the track correctly, which is why it wasn't moving. It wasn't a programming issue, it was a person putting it on the wrong track issue, or not putting on the track right issue. So let's go ahead and try it again. So yes, I always test my programming. This way I'm not, damaging a gear or a traction tire. I make sure everything is correctly going in the direction that I want it to. And this is a tip for you guys. There's nothing wrong with it. So I highly recommend doing the test before you go into operations. So let's go ahead and and run this train. Hopefully everything goes well, but you never know. Things do happen. So let's go ahead. Alright, so we're all ready to go. Air test is made. Let's run our train here.
Dispatcher here. Do you copy? Over.
Roger that.
Please start her up and stand by for track orders.
Copy that, dispatcher. We'll get up and running. Out. Dispatcher, waiting on a clear track. Can I roll? Over.
Dispatcher here. Please hold for track orders. Over.
Understood. Sitting here looking for a green light. Out.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the run. One last thing I would like to say is, sorry, Ray's Trains, I'm going to have to call you out here a little bit. On the Three Rails for Dads podcast, Ray's Trains had mentioned that Lionel trains auto racks derail easy. And I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. So if you're trying to run them on 054, as Lionel recommends, okay, yeah, you're going to derail them all day long. But if you run them on 080 on up, never have a problem. Trust me. I've run. You see the run that I just made. Not one auto rack derailed the whole entire time. Not one. So, but I'm also using 080 curves as well. So if you want to run them, use 080. Don't run these things on 054. In actuality, the Lionel 86-foot high cube box cars are more prone to derailments than the auto rack is. And the reason for that is the way that Lionel designed the auto rack is that the body sits on the frame and it's a rigid piece. The Lionel 86-foot high cube box car does not sit on a frame. The frame or the chassis actually goes inside of the boxcar body shell. So it relies on these 4 pedestals with screws in them. And that's what supports the body on the chassis or the frame of the car itself. So because it's not sitting on the whole entire frame, and it's just being supported by these 4 plastic pedestals that are this high, so you get what's called flexing in that boxcar. And those, because of the way they flex, you can actually derail those a little bit more easier. But if your track work is good, you run on 080 on up, even those will run pretty flawless for you. But at any rate, I hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed another Conrail run. I'll see you guys next time. Next train show. See you trackside. Goodbye.